The temple's last secret. Imagine dedicating more than 2 decades of your life to uncovering what may be the oldest temple ever built by human hands. A place so ancient that it forced archaeologists to rewrite the story of civilization itself. Then, just as the world finally began paying attention, the man leading those discoveries suddenly died. He was only 60 years old. Officially, it was a heart attack. But almost immediately, the internet began asking a very different question. Was it simply a tragic coincidence, or had Klaus Schmidt come too close to something history had forgotten? Tonight, we're separating fact from fiction to explore one of archaeology's most intriguing modern stories. High on a limestone ridge in southeastern Turkey lies a place unlike any other. Its name is Göbekli Tepe. Located roughly 15 kilometers northeast of the city of Şanlıurfa, the site remained largely unnoticed for decades. Today, many archaeologists consider it one of the greatest discoveries of the 20th century. Its enormous carved stone pillars date back to approximately 9,600 BC, over 11,000 years old. That makes Göbekli Tepe thousands of years older than Stonehenge, older than the Egyptian pyramids, older than writing itself. And the man who devoted his life to revealing its secrets was German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt. But the deeper he dug, the stranger the story became. Göbekli Tepe was first documented during a survey conducted in 1963 by researchers from Istanbul University and the University of Chicago. At the time, the hill appeared to contain little more than scattered stones and what were believed to be medieval graves. The true importance of the site remained hidden. Everything changed in 1994. Klaus Schmidt, working for the German Archaeological Institute, visited the hill. Unlike previous researchers, Schmidt recognized that the worked limestone fragments scattered across the surface were anything but ordinary. He immediately believed the hill concealed something extraordinary. The following year, systematic excavations began. No one expected what they would uncover. The first discoveries were astonishing, but what lay beneath them would challenge everything archaeologists thought they knew about early humanity. As excavation continued, enormous T-shaped limestone pillars emerged from the ground. Some weighed over 10 tons, many stood more than 5 meters tall. The pillars formed large circular enclosures. Even more remarkable were the carvings: foxes, snakes, boars, lions, scorpions, birds. Each figure had been carefully carved into solid stone with extraordinary precision. And then archaeologists noticed something equally mysterious. The temple hadn't been destroyed. It had been deliberately buried. Around 8000 BC, the monumental enclosures were intentionally filled with tons of earth, stone fragments, animal bones, and debris. This wasn't a natural landslide. It wasn't erosion. Someone carefully buried the entire complex. Why? No written records exist. No explanation survived. Researchers have proposed several possibilities. Perhaps the site had fulfilled its ritual purpose. Perhaps new beliefs replaced old traditions. Perhaps the builders wanted to preserve something. No one knows. That unanswered question became one of Göbekli Tepe's greatest mysteries. But this wasn't the only mystery surrounding the ancient hill. As media attention exploded, so did speculation. By the early 2010s, documentaries, books, and news reports had transformed Göbekli Tepe into a global archaeological sensation. Some researchers focused strictly on scientific evidence. Others ventured far beyond it. Alternative authors suggested the site preserved forgotten knowledge from a lost civilization. Some linked it to the biblical Garden of Eden. Others connected it to Atlantis, ancient astronauts, hidden cosmic wisdom. These ideas spread rapidly online, yet none of them have been supported by archaeological evidence. Professional archaeologists continued relying on excavation, dating techniques, and peer-reviewed research, not speculation. Still, the public fascination kept growing. In the summer of 2014, everything changed. On July 20, 2014, Klaus Schmidt died unexpectedly. He was 60 years old. According to official reports, the cause of death was a heart attack. For colleagues, the loss was devastating. Schmidt had spent more than 20 years directing excavations at Göbekli Tepe. Much of the site remained unexplored. In fact, archaeologists estimate that only a small percentage of the hill has been excavated. His death came while international interest in Göbekli Tepe was reaching unprecedented levels. Naturally, people began connecting unrelated events. And that is where history ended and mythology began. Within weeks, entirely new stories appeared online, stories that had no basis in evidence. One popular claim suggested that Göbekli Tepe carried an ancient curse. Another argued that mysterious forces protected the site. Others claimed Schmidt had discovered forbidden knowledge and paid the ultimate price. These stories spread quickly across forums, videos, and social media. But there is one important fact. No archaeological evidence supports any of these claims. No documents, no witness testimony, no scientific findings. The official cause of death has never changed. Sometimes a tragic coincidence is simply that. A coincidence. Ironically, the greatest mystery isn't Klaus Schmidt's death. It's what still lies beneath the hill. Excavations continued after Schmidt's passing under new archaeological leadership. Research has revealed additional structures, carvings, and evidence suggesting Göbekli Tepe was part of a much larger ritual landscape. Modern technologies, including ground-penetrating surveys, indicate many more buried features may still remain underground. UNESCO recognized Göbekli Tepe as a World Heritage Site in 2018, acknowledging its extraordinary importance to human history. Today, archaeologists continue studying the site using increasingly advanced methods. Every excavation season raises new questions and occasionally provides new answers. Klaus Schmidt dedicated much of his professional life to understanding a civilization separated from us by more than 11,000 years. He didn't solve every mystery. No archaeologist could. His sudden death inspired countless stories online, some mysterious, some imaginative, some entirely unsupported. But perhaps the real wonder doesn't need supernatural explanations. Göbekli Tepe reminds us that human history is still incomplete. Entire chapters remain buried beneath the earth, waiting patiently. Not for believers in curses, but for careful researchers willing to follow the evidence wherever it leads. Because sometimes the greatest mystery isn't hidden in legends.